Welcome to a new edition of Showtime with Coop. Insightful BS with my Laker teammates, NBA legends, but we also bring in the other side of the Laker. We got a guy here today that Miguel Nunez Jr. was with me and the Lakers, and we're gonna talk about it going all the way back to the 80s. He was like but Dr. Buss's extra hand, we could say, a guy that knows a little bit about the Lakers. Good morning, Miguel. How are you, sir?
Coop, I love you, brother. They don't even know. They don't even know. We grew up together, man. We grew up together, and we grew up in the best time ever in Los Angeles. The Showtime Lakers, the back-to-back Lakers, and not just the basketball was what everybody else saw, but the behind the scenes was the best part of it. The foreign club, all the fun that we had. Dr. Bus, I ran away from home to become an actor. So Dr. Bus kind of took me in. So he was like my godfather, my best friend, and and Cooper, we'll get into it.
Yes, we will. But thank you, Miguel. I like that look. You know what? I'm going to give you some credit on some of the movies you've been in: Return of the Living Dead, Tour of Duty, and
Life.
my favorite was Joanna Man. I
Yes,
love
sir.
that
Yes,
movie.
sir.
Yeah, I had so many of my friends say, "Coop, is that you?" Because that was like a young lady. Tell us a little bit about how that became about.
Well, actually, Joanna Man came about because Will Smith had been telling me for years, you got to start playing golf, Miguel. You got to start playing golf. All the big jobs happen on the golf course. Y'all start auditioning for the little parts later. That's where the executives hang out. I didn't listen to him years and years. About 10 years later, I decided I'm going to take up golf. This is after Tiger Woods got hit. Now I'm going to start taking up golf. The first time I go out to a golf course, I'm out there learning how to hit the ball over here on Witsit. And I think the guy's name is Mike. And I started hitting the ball. Next thing I know, this guy tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, man, I'm doing this movie called Joanna Man. And I know you're on the TV show Sparks. I saw you on there, you're Maxie Sparks. I would love for you to come out." And that's how I end up with the role.
You know, how much work, Miguel, did it have for you to conform to that character to get into that? Because you were a basketball player. I mean, you were athletic. You played a basketball player. But for those that don't know what Joanna Man was, it's a guy that had a bad attitude, and he got kicked out of the NBA, kind of say. So they had just started the WNBA back then, and he crossed over. Started acting like a young lady, and he played. It was probably the best player that the WNBA saw at that time. Talk to us some more about that.
Yeah, what happened was he's like the greatest NBA player, but he had an attitude to get kicked out. Luke Kim played my girlfriend, and she left me, took everything. They took all my house, my cars, and everything. I got asked out, so I ended up going, going and trying out for the WNBA, and I became a huge star. But because of my attitude again, and women didn't dunk at the time, they told me not to dunk. My attitude, I ended up dunking, and that fell apart as well. But we getting ready to do another one too. We getting ready to do part two. And we had a lot of NBA players in
You
there
know
too.
what? I love that movie because your character uh, falls in love with one of the key players on the team, and
Yes,
that
Vivica
the
Fox.
whole role of their two to get together, that was kind of like a no back then. How did you, that? I thought was the best part about it, holding in your
Yeah,
feelings for this player.
yeah. And to be in a vulnerable position where you can't expose yourself and you're lying to her at the same time. So that was a really vulnerable situation to be in. But I love Vivica. Vivica is my girl. We've been friends for years. Long before this, I asked for her. I requested her, and I knew that me and Vivica together can pull that off, and it worked really, really well. But my favorite person in the whole movie was Tommy Davidson, who was in love with Joanna. Tommy
That's
Davidson,
right.
Tommy Tommy Davidson ended up falling in love with Joanna, and now I gotta duck his ass. And while I'm
And
trying to
he
get
didn't
her,
know
and
that you were
she
a man.
right, and she's at listen, he's after Joanna because he don't know that Joanna's a man. I'm after Vivica, and Vivica's after Genuine. It was like really,
Great
it was
movie.
real.
If you people haven't watched that movie, get that because it is an all-time favorite. Okay, let's get to the meat of the subject here, Miguel. From New York, you move out to Los Angeles. When did you first meet Dr. Bus?
I had always gone. Ola Ray, remember Ola Ray? She was
Yeah,
the girl
yeah,
that was
yeah.
in the Thriller video. She was dating him at the time, and she lived above me. No, below me. Yes, below me. And she would take me to the games, but then she was like, "You got to stay right in here in the Forum Club. You can't come in this side." That was the side Dr. Bust and then was having dinner with all the celebrities. So I would stand and look between the little bars and see all those celebrities and all those beautiful girls, and I could never go in there because you couldn't go in there unless you were invited. But Ola would bring me to the game, but she couldn't bring a guy to that table. She could bring me outside in the Forum Club. And then I was actually just trying to come up as an actor. Third time I get a job, I would end up losing because I get a page. Oh, you got an audition on Monday. I had to make an excuse. Oh, you got a call back on Wednesday. I had to make another excuse. Oh, the producers want to see you on Monday. Oh, got to make another excuse. So eventually, I would get fired. So she said, "Why don't you come work for the Lakers? I can get you a job in the season seat sales office." I said, "Okay." So I go in the season. You can make your own hours. This was good for me because the Lakers was selling themselves. They were the winners. So I get a job there, and one of the incentives was, oh, he explained the job, and then he goes, "Oh, and by the way, whoever is the number one season seat salesman for the week will get to have dinner at Dr. Buster's table and sit in the owner's box." Negro, why did I have to hear that? I won the next 3 months in a row. Every single time I was there. And Dr. Buster's table would go this way, and that way, right? All the way down. The last seats, right at the end where you standing there looking, you can almost touch the person, was the season seat salesman seats. But at least you were in there. And they say you can bring one guest. It has to be a girl. So every time I would look at Dr. Bus, I see all those pretty girls. So I would go out and I have the prettiest girl with me every time I go. And then after a while, I would see Jerry go. Every game I brought different one. I saw Jerry go to his guy. And the guy goes, and look at me, and I know he's saying, "Oh, that's the season seat salesman guy." So next thing I know, when again, they said Dr. Bus office call said you could bring 2 guests. So I bring so every time I brought 2 girls, and then my seat went from all the way down there, all the way down there, all the way down there, all the way down there to right next to Dr. Bus. And then he said, "You don't ever have to work in that office again. You can just be my assistant."
Well,
And
yeah,
I
in the house, I'm gonna say this because one thing I remember about you.
you breaking up.
Go ahead. The one thing I remember about you, Miguel's frozen. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, there you
Growing
go.
up, I always used to look at where the officers were that came out on the court, and you would come down, and you always had like 7, 8 beautiful girls
Beautiful.
coming down, and you walk them down to the floor. You walk them
Just so
all the
everybody
way
can see
around the
him.
court.
Just so everybody can
And
see
the whole
him.
time we trying to be serious out there, but we like taking a peek over what you got with you. And then you walk them all the way around, walk them up, and then you walk up all the way up top to Dr. Bus. You know what? I enjoyed my job and I loved my job. And I was like, man, that has to be a great job, man, for Dr.
That wasn't a job. It was a
Your
perk.
thoughts on
It was a
that?
perk. It was a perk because you remember the Lakers was the hottest ticket in town, and I had connections with the Lakers. So when I would go to clubs, and I knew, I would always say, "You want to go to the game? You want to go to a game?" I would always pick the pretty girls. "You want to go to the game? Laker game? Yeah, yeah, yeah." So then I would say, "I got 5 girls." I would always take pretty girls. That was the key back then. That was the key to all of y'all. That was key to every celebrity on the planet: Charlie Sheen, Rob Lowe, Iron Man, Jack Nicholson. Every single one of them wanted to know who I was. Every single one of them called me for everything. I got them all tickets. I got them in. It was the tea. Like you said, when I came in, I could have went straight around to the box. No, I went all the way down and I went around. I was like, "Oh God, who is that?" And they didn't say who are the girls. They would go, "Who is that guy?"
But you know what? That was along with the lure of the Lakers and all the
That was the lure of the Lakers. All the celebrities, all the time. And
like that.
he was a fun guy. He was an honest guy. He treated everybody with respect. He didn't care about your age. And one thing about Dr. Buzz people don't know, His box was way up at the top, and that was like where the cheap seats were. There were on 5, 10 different occasions, I'm sure there were more, where people would come up and they would go, and he would say, let him in. And they would like show Dr. Buster. And I was like, what it is? And Dr. Buster would be looking at their kids' grades. And they would come over and show this. And they would say, okay, listen, if he keeps straight A's, blah, 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 I give him a scholarship. Okay, let me see the next one. It was like the Godfather. They'd line up. And he sent so many
And you
kids
know,
to college.
and that's the thing about Dr. Bus is he was about the community because he knew the community was about the Lakers. And you know what? That's a lost point about him. He was so interested in the youth and always doing something to further education.
Absolutely. He sent hundreds of kids. He gave so many money. He would go, people would come over and da da da. And I see Jerry call his guy over and get an envelope and da 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 da. It was like he really truly cared. There were times when we were getting ready to go out, and I remember one time, and you know how I used to dress, and I was getting in the locker room after the game, and I think it was Magic and Worthy or somebody. They grabbed me and took me in the shower with all my clothes, and I was so mad I had to go back home and change and get my juice back in my hair, get the juice back in my hair and everything. And everybody was waiting outside to get in the limo, and Dr. Bus was sitting down on the sidewalk talking to like this homeless girl for like 30 minutes. And we're like, come on, dude, what could you possibly? And here, wait. When he didn't care. It wasn't about it, he just cared about people. And it black, white, old, and he always thought black folks got an unfair shake. And his kids are the same way. They're just everyday love him. I'm sure you already know, Jeannie. And Jim and John, all of them are just wonderful, wonderful. And they're like my brothers and sisters. So I had the best years of my life with them. And you know, the back offices was where it went down, though.
Back offices. Tell us about
The back offices.
What happened back there? Because there was a lot of offices that were empty right now. I don't know.
Listen, all I can say is this.
What's the most interesting thing you saw back there?
Oh my God. There's 1,000. I'm gonna just tell you one. Jerry's conference room that was next to his office, that's where he had all the biggest meetings. All the biggest meetings. And they would go in there and it was at least seat like 20. And it would be beautiful, and the candles and the white thing and the food for whatever meetings he had. But that that conference room saw more action than the Ritz-Carlton.
Were you part of that action?
You probably the only person I don't know. I know that wasn't in there riding. But let me tell you, I'm gonna just tell you one thing, and I'm not gonna tell you any names. This is one thing that happened in there. There was one time where, can I say it? But yeah, Dr. Bus, Jerry West, me. I love Jerry West, one of the nicest, greatest guys in the history of the universe.
Jerry, man.
Yeah. And one other tall person, I don't want to say the name. We all peeking inside the conference room. Why a celebrity in their gorilla riding a girl on top of the conference room table. All three of us is there. All four of us are there peeking, and he's in there killing this girl on top of the conference room table. And that happened like 300 times. And I would look in there and see Jerry having meetings and them eating on that table thinking about it.
Hey, let's move on, Miguel.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
You knowing Dr. Bus so well, Miguel. What championship do you think he enjoyed the most? Which one?
Wait, well, I can't think of the year. Don't beat Boston. Boston, he hated Boston. You know that,
right? 85.
85. That's it. Damn, I should have said. Because I got to say this. I've never known Jerry to hate anybody. No matter what. Even I always tell you get mad with somebody. He said, listen, Miguel, listen. And that only hate only lasts for a short time, love lasts forever. He will always give you this. But I can tell you, he did not like he did not like him. He did not like Boston. That was the greatest joy for him ever. That would have to be it.
85 championship. You know
Yep.
what Dr. Bus, he in Palm Springs, he had Alcatil Lounge, and we used to go down there for
Woo!
training camp all the
That was the best
you
time.
have any
That was the
stories from
second best
there?
time. That was listen, he owned the Alcatil Lounge. And the Alcatil Lounge, everybody, was the hottest spot in all of Palm Springs for Labor Day, for every single holiday. Everybody who's who would go to the Alcatil Lounge. Period. You couldn't get in there, you get in whatever hotel that was close. It was the number one spot, period. Everybody and their mother. Jerry owned it. So they had these little bungalows right around the pool and then the hotel. We all got those. Jim, he got the first one next to his dad. His dad had Jerry had taken 3 or 4 rooms in the front and built his own suite and put a swimming pool in his own suite at the Alcatel Lounge in his own two
Did he? He
made
had a swimming
condo
pool in
looking.
his own suite?
Yeah, right. When you go to Alcatel Lounge, the first 4 rooms to your left, Jerry all combined them to make one, and it had its own swimming pool there. Yeah, most people don't know that because they never been in there.
I'll say.
Yeah, but the Alcatel
But no,
Lounge
we weren't
was
privy to
hit,
that.
huh? Oh no, yeah, no. I thought y'all might have been, but yeah, the public wasn't. But anyway, yeah, and it was like I mean, the who's who, every major star now, but when they were younger, Rob Lowe was always there. Everybody you can name was always there. There were times that listen, I was playing poker in Las Vegas somewhere and sitting at the table with some millionaires, $100,000 each hand, and Wayne Gretzky's wife sat down to play, and she said, "Miguel, I'm going to tell you a story." I said, "Okay." She said, "One day I'm sitting in the Forum Club." I said, "Okay." She said, "You ran in there and you said, 'Hey, listen, I got 2 guys outside in the lobby.'" And in the little back door we used to take to go inside from Jerry's inside. She goes, "You came out
Yeah.
of this little side. You asked me, who do you want? I got 2 guys who want to meet you, Bruce Willis and Wayne Gretzky. Who do you want to meet?" I said, "Wayne Gretzky." She said, "You ran out, and next thing I know, you come running in this little side door, dragging Wayne by the arm and sat him down next to me, and sat him down next to me, and we have been together ever since."
So you hooked him up.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Why not Bruce Willis?
I don't know. That's what she said. She said Wayne Gretzky. I guess she was right because they still together. So I guess she's picked her soulmate.
I'll say.
Yeah. And Bruce was the
So of
nicest guy on the planet too.
Miguel, yeah, I love Wayne too. Of all the things that you've done in your career, in your life, what's the most thing you're proudest about?
I would have to say being in a position to give back and to help other people. That's the most thing I'm proud of. The success is good. The security is good. Knowing that right now, because it's not what you make, it's what you do with it. I've done the right things that even if I never got out of the bed, all my bills would be paid for life. Out of all of that, it means nothing but to me the best part about it is now being in a position to help other people so they don't have to struggle and go through what I went through. Because even you probably don't know I was sleeping in this trash, eating out of the trash downtown LA. And when I first got here, and I stole my blood, waking up with
No, I
lice
didn't
every
know
day,
that.
going, yeah, I ran away from home. I was born in New York, raised in North Carolina. Every day of my life, I said I was going to be a movie star, and I talked like this when I first got here. You didn't even know me if I got out of that. And I ended up living downtown LA, sleeping on the streets. So I slept behind the bus station until I moved to the Union Rescue Mission. Union Rescue Mission helped. I used to wake up. I used to sell my blood plasma to eat breakfast, and then sell it again. You try to sell it twice, $14. I'm sure it's more now, but then that was my dinner. That was my bank account. Was my arm. That was long before the Lakers. But and now being in a position to help other people, to me, I think that's the best part of it. That's the only thing, and helping my family and being able to help people if it's hard for me if I had it and I knew people were suffering in my family, I knew people were suffering and I didn't do it. To me, that's the best part.
Now, it helping somebody. I went on your Instagram and I saw where you selling both of your Teslas. Did you get them sold?
They gone. They gone. They gone. They gone. They gone. Listen to me. I can't support what he's about.
Okay.
I can't support what he's about. I can't. I'm sorry. And I'm not crazy. I'm not rich, and I'm not rich enough to burn them.
Okay. I hear you.
Hell no. I don't understand that one.
Well, we're not gonna get too political on this. Miguel, back to the Lakers.
Yes.
Who? I guess it's a two-part question. First of all, give me your top 5 all-time Laker players.
The starting, Kareem, Magic. Oh shit. Kareem, Magic. The starting 5. The starting 5. You, Magic, Kareem.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna.
Hold
give
on,
you
wait.
mine.
No, I want to give you mine. No, I don't want yours first. I want Worthy, Kareem.
Okay.
Worthy, Kareem, Magic, Kobe. Shit, that's a hard one. I gotta go. You gotta put LeBron in there too, right? Gotta put LeBron in there. I hope I'm not missing somebody.
That's
you tell
your
all
5.
time. Yeah, that's my 5.
I had everybody. I figured you'd say everybody but LeBron.
Right.
Why does LeBron have to be in there?
What? Come
Why
on.
does LeBron have to be in there?
Because look, the man is 990 years old, and he's still just running out there doing it. He's still doing his thing. You're gonna be 9.
Win, dude. You're not winning because of him. He's the first.
No, you're right. I mean,
in history that winning didn't matter.
You're right. Look, that's why I had to think about it at the end. That's why I had to think. I didn't just jump and put him. I had to think about it.
Miguel,
do not listen to that guy, Nick.
I want to hear what you are. Yo, let me hear Cooper's first, Nick. Go ahead.
I had everybody that you said except LeBron. I had Jerry West. But don't listen.
Oh shit! I would have had Jerry West. I'll take Jerry West. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Don't listen to Nick, Miguel, because he's a Boston fan. So he's
Oh hell no! Hell no! How does a Boston fan get in on this?
You're
well, listen.
North Carolina, right?
I know.
Yes.
You know my boy is Cedric Maxwell, and I know he gave you guys torment in the '80s. So you know he's a North
he
Carolina.
did.
He's a
Yeah, he
North
did.
Carolina.
Okay, but listen to me. Cool. We got to be honest. To me, thought. Hold on. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
I can hear you.
a bit better.
Okay. All right. Now listen. You can't. I was on. We were conditioned to hate Boston. If you were a Laker, it was conditioned, and it was automatic. Everybody in the city, you were conditioned. You can't love, but you find that somebody say they like Boston, slap shit out of them right on the street. There you go. You were conditioned. But with that said, you just can't take anything away from Boston. Larry Bird was one of the great basketball players to ever put his hand on a damn ball. Magic and Larry Bird changed the entire game of basketball. Those two together, that rivalry from college into the NBA changed it. No player ever got $1 million until Magic. People don't even know that. You know, Dr. Buzz did that. And
20-year contract.
Yeah, and nobody's ever, and listen to me, they changed the game. Larry Bird was, and Boston at the time, the Lakers was Showtime, right? All Boston came came down there and did the fundamentals. Bring it in here, put it right there, have that space, every time. And Larry Bird, and we come down, and Larry Bird and them come down, and it was, you can't take anything away from Boston Celtics. But still, I hated them, and I still hate them, and I don't know why I still hate them. It's ingrained. I was born with it.
Miguel, Lakers fans still hate the Celtics like young Lakers fans. Do they? Still
I don't know. No. They don't hate them like they're supposed to. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm with you. The game.
They don't. No. That's our time. That's gone. It's not the same. They don't even know anything about the hate thing. They don't know.
It's sad.
And it's okay.
That was so much fun. It was so much fun hating you guys.
It's more fun when you hate each other because then that rivalry, the expectations of the rivalry, all of that is exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't forget Jack Nicholson mooning them at the Garden.
Yes, that's right.
this too up on the balcony, going like this. Get out the brooms in '87.
I love, and Jack was always there.
Yeah, man. I remember watching those games on TV and just sweating profusely. It might have been it was summertime too, and we didn't have air conditioning, but the heat of those games came through the TV. So being in person,
I know
like
that.
you guys, I mean,
Yeah, because I know, because we were excited and reverent about the Lakers. Boston was Boston was a different. That was a different thing. Yeah, it was awesome. But that whole rivalry was amazing. I saw once. I don't remember what game it was. Somebody knocked Larry Bird to his ass. He slid down right at the half court line. Everybody on the stand go, "Oh!" He shot from the floor and made it.
yeah.
Get out of here, Miguel.
There's
Yes,
still
he did. It did happen, Coop. I promise.
Coming out.
He did, Coop. I swear.
Larry boxing Coop off the court. That's one of my favorites too. Right into the stands.
Man, get out of here, Miguel. Listen,
What?
last thing for me from you.
All right.
If Dr. Bus were alive today, what would he say?
Yes, he'd be happy. He would be so proud. First of all, $10 million. If she hadn't done that deal, I think his hand would have came out of the grave, went all the way to the Staples Center, and slapped it. And slapped the $10 billion, the biggest ever. First of all, Jerry would be so proud. I mean, he grew something. People don't understand. When Jerry first started, I went with him to the NBA meeting. They thought he was some pumpkin bumpkin coming in with a black guy, jeans tore up. Every time he went around and said something, he's talking about selling seats for $30,000 a piece. He's talking about bringing cheerleaders to a basketball game. Jerry was the first one that put a name on a building. He was the first one that he revolutionized the whole thing. And then at the end, when we would go, they'd be like this to him. But in the beginning, they hated him. He's coming in with all these dumb, stupid rules. Now, every single thing he implemented has been there. But what was your question again?
And put us on cable TV. He was the first one to do that.
All of that. Yes. Yeah. So what was the question?
No, I mean, what would he say? What would Dr.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That was it. And he would be so proud of Jeannie. Jeannie took most family members who inherit something, and they come in, they kind of mess it up. Okay, she got a championship ring. She got a 2020 championship ring. She took them to the championship. She took them and held them and kept them to a position that they could be sold for $10 billion. And then you sell it for $10 billion, and you still keep a percentage, and you still the governor. Hell, Jeannie.
And that's savvy Dr. Bus, you know, because
absolutely
early or by his side at training camp. All the things
she was
always there.
Always there. To do this. Exactly. She was groomed to do this, and she was smart, and she listened, she learned. Jim was the same way, but Jeannie had that female component, you know what I'm saying? And I think that to her, she just kept his legend. She just kept it going. Bottom line. Yeah. She didn't lose momentum. It could have folded. It could have folded. It could have gone downhill, and sold for $5-6 billion back then. Nope. She kept with Rob. Rob is genius. They kept the team together, and they figured it out. Ended up with a championship. Ended up with LeBron, and now ended up with Joker. Come on, bro. That's Dr. Bus reborn.
Bam! There you have it, Miguel. Thank you so much, sir.
I love you, Coop, for life, bro.
And sharing some stories. You got me excited a little bit. I was over here sweating when you were talking.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell the stories, bro.
Exactly, like you promised. You didn't say no names.
I ain't gonna tell the stories, brother.
Miguel, love you, my brother. Take care.
I love you for life. You too, Ken. Even though you're from Boston, Ken, I love you too.
Forget him. Right. Talk to you soon, Miguel.
I love you, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay.
How do I cut it off?